All right, we have New Horizon. Now, New Horizon, they had some highs right here, people. They certainly did. And I think those highs can come back. They're going to be an VTOL company. And they have an X page. Only 899 followers. But this is the article that they posted 48 minutes ago. Now, I would say we want to know if this father-son duo is legit. Okay, well, first, we have taking a distinctly different path in the race to develop electric vehicle takeoff and landing aircraft. Hybrid electric caveret. X7, company challenging the dominant tilt rotor trend in distributed electric propulsion, offering a bold design aim at real-world performance. CEO and co-founder Brandon Robinson, SVP of Business Development Phil Kelly, and CEO discuss company's vision. Robinson, is a former CF-18 fighter pilot with over 22 years in the Canadian Armed Forces. Kelly brings extensive military flight and command experience. I think that sounds pretty legit. How did the aircraft get started? After completing my military career, and with my father running an aerospace business focused on certified general aviation aircraft and electrification of experimental aircraft, well, that makes sense. We were approached by a group of investors interested in electric taxi concept. We didn't want if you build it, they will come approach, and after extensive research, we saw a big gap in the market. There was a lot of optimism, especially from Silicon Valley. Startups and university think tanks. All right, put aside what was popular, our research and operational background showed that these all-electric eVTOL craft would have limited range and insufficient fuel reserves. While they'll be fine for short, fair weather flights, we wanted to build a tougher machine, one that could go farther, faster, and focus on real-world users. That's why we chose hybrid electric from the start. And there he is. That's a very AI looking picture, though. A lot of the time, conceptual part of the design. Oh, wait, did he say that he got it from the name? Oh, wait, no, not yet. Hold on. Part of the design, transition from hover to forward flight, and we examine all architectures, including tilt wing and tilt rotor options. We calculated the tilt wing required a very heavy mechanism, and the aerodynamics associated with transition were extremely complex. With tilt rotor design, the required manufacturing tolerances for blades, especially in a variable pitch propeller, would be challenging and expensive to achieve. An open rotor system, a failure could cascade unless you have awkward orientations, and we have already seen 2 major failures in flight tests from other manufacturers. That might have been the lithium one. So it is very good that Archer and Joby are this far, because failing the flight test, then it's like, what the hell have you done? That's definitely not good. Our design constraints. We're enable a simple transition and spend 98% of the time flying as a conventional airplane, including conventional takeoff and landing. When needed, my father and I together, Kirk Krillman, came up with an articulating wing system that met these design specifications. Once you're airborne at a safe speed with a margin above stall, the wing closes. See, that's how it is. The wing has to change from going up like a helicopter to down. All right. And in-wing propellers spin down, continuing with all safety and efficiency we've come to expect from conventional aircraft. Oh, man. Wait, the name, Caveret. He got it from an H.G. Wells story. That would, fictional material with anti-gravity properties and seemed quite appropriate for an eVTOL aircraft. I think these two, I think they could do it. I really do. As a Harrier pilot, everything allows me to have hover spins on the inside of the aircraft that carries much less risk when operating in confined spaces with obstacles around the aircraft or people moving around the landing zone. As our lift propellers are in a duct surrounded by a contamination ring, we are well protected from cascading failures. All right, that would be good then. The reduced drag, what Brandon mentioned, is in the order of 4 times less than if we had multiple propellers in the airstream in forward flight. That allows us to fly faster and burn 75% less fuel than a twin-engine helicopter for the same distance. The compound effect of flying twice as fast and burning less fuel results in a cost per seat mile, which is in the region of a turboprop passenger aircraft like Pilatus PC or a Cessna. Cessna is Surf Air Mobilities. Having multiple small propellers for lift gives us very sensitive vertical speed control. We don't vary the propeller revolutions per minute in hover because our translation movements is through gridded vanes that deflect the thrust. The constant RPM combined with noise reduction liners in the ducts result in noise levels 5 to 7 decibels lower than a mainstream helicopter in vertical mode and up to 12 decibels lower in forward flight. planes are loud. One main feature is we do not change from level attitude. Attitude during transition makes it more comfortable for both passengers and crew. For medevac applications, keeping a stretcher patient level is a big advantage beyond just comfort. From the pilot standpoint, the change of pitch around hover can be quite challenging. If you watched a Harrier air show routine where the aircraft dips in nose and hover, this was a high-risk maneuver only done by highly experienced pilots. So, I think we have completed the transition on our large-scale prototype, which is a huge validation for the company. Right now, we're building full-scale components expected to be completed in the next 18 to 24 months. We can start our flight test program with a full-scale non-conforming demonstrator and, in parallel, the certification with Transport Canada. With all going smoothly, we expect that to be complete before 2030. Man, oh man, this is a race between the Canadian one. Now the Canadian one has to keep up. And I don't know how Trump will feel about, well, that's a long ways away. Not really. 4 years, if you think about it. 2025 is almost over. As you know, aerospace pricing is very much volume-based. We'll be talking to leasing companies that could purchase aircraft and lease it in turn or at an hourly rate. You'd be looking at something in the range of $6 million per aircraft. I think it's extremely exciting, and we're happy to be building this platform. I think they're exciting, too. I think HOVR, definitely. Because, look at Joby. I mean, that would take a long road. Because Joby, my God, they're about to be flying. Why is Archer looking so crappy? People just like Joby. People are liking Joby better right now. But Archer, they have more liquidity. They're sitting on more money. They are indeed. Which Adam Goldstein tried to tell people on, on X. What does Adam say? If we're looking, he has way more X followers. I'm just kidding. 57,000. Doesn't matter. Maybe. Scaling mandates further manufacturing. Early commercial deployments and FAA new cert testing got started on our early international commercial deployments with our Launch Edition program in the United Arab Emirates. And then here in the U.S., we're keeping our eyes on the prize, get Midnight's FAA certification, then scale for the LA 28 Olympics. Some other wins worth calling out. So they're supposed to be flying by the LA 2028 Olympics. Up. That is, I don't even know. It's exciting. 6 new Midnight aircraft in production with 30 in final assembly. POTUS June executive order paving the way for our early U.S. eVTOL deployment. Wait, where's the ones in? Is that one is the one? No, because they have them in United Arab Emirates. 2 strategic acquisitions this quarter to accelerate Archer defense. Wait. So Archer made significant progress in scaling up production of Midnight eVTOL for commercial deployment, particularly in the UAE. Delivered 1 piloted Midnight aircraft to the UAE this summer as part of the launch commercialization. They definitely need to get more of those. This aircraft successfully made its initial test flight. That's huge. Making a key milestone. 6 in production, 3 in final assembly. That is good. In facilities, California and Georgia. While only 1 aircraft has been explicitly noted and delivered in the UAE this summer, it's ramping up manufacturing to support further deployments. I think that's good. I think, how many does Joby have? If we were going to say, how many aircraft does Joby have made? Because Archer is also doing other things. Well, with the military thing, Anduril. So they have also 6 aircraft in its test fleet, including 1 hydrogen hybrid aircraft, 3 production prototype aircraft rolled out the pilot in Marine, California, with a 4th expected to join the active flight test program in Q3 2025. Yeah, Joby ahead. For sure. Delivered to the U.S. Air Force at Edwards Base as their Agility Prime program was powered on in May 2025. It's undergoing final checks. But if Joby is getting there, then that shows you Archer's potential, which is soon. And I got into Archer very low. So if people that start to get into HOVR, now I'm in HOVR lower than I am Archer. And I got an Archer on here, so I think, but I was in Joby 2 around there, like a dummy, and I sold out of it. Because I just wanted the gains. I was in right around the same time at $5, but anyways, okay. I think HOVR could be another Joby and Archer, but it'd be a longer road, of course, but it's a cheaper price, and we'll see. But if anything goes wrong, any of these crafts, it is going to be it would probably drop all of them stuck to wide because people would be like, oh my God, they're going to be horrible. So you could say time to get in, because I think they will in the long run be how everyone travels, revolutionize travel.